6-year-old Sergei Aleshkov is perched high in a tree on a sunny day while his brother fishes in the creek below him, and his mother washes laundry in the flowing water. They see a jet in the sky approaching them quickly, and his mother tells her sons to run. Sergei begins to shoot pine cones at the jet with his slingshot, pretending to bomb the jet to save his family. Coming out of his daydream, he realizes that his brother and mother are not below him at the creek anymore. He finds his home to be empty, and his aunt quickly rushes in behind him and tells him that his brother and mother have been killed. She urges him to flee with her and to pretend to be her son, saying if the Germans find out who his family is, he will be killed. Before they have time to flee, the Germans invade his home and kill his aunt, while Sergei escapes through a window and into the forest. For days, Sergei wanders the forest, lost and alone, nearly being killed by a landmine, and sleeping on the forest floor. After a long while, soldiers stumble upon him sleeping in the forest and carry him to the commander, Nikolai Kutsanov, at their military post. Seeing that he is hurt and dirty, they feed him and ask about his family. Sergei breaks down and hints at the fact that they have been killed. The commander tells him not to cry, saying that men don't cry. Later on, a kind nurse, Katya, tends to his wounds in a medical tent filled with many wounded men from the war. She takes a liking to him and tells him to rest and that she will return. The commander visits him in the medical tent, and Sergei tells the commander of how he will be a commander just like him when he grows up. He is intrigued with the commander's pistol and badges, and they bond over war. Outside the tent, Katya pleads with the commander to allow Sergei to stay with them, voicing her fears of how he will be sent to an orphanage if he isn't allowed to stay. The commander refuses, saying that the battleground is no place for a child. The entire army of soldiers take a liking to him and give him the nickname Soldier Boy. They bring him gifts while his wounds heal. Katya speaks to a fellow nurse about how much she cares for Sergei, and how although she is not very affected by the wounded from the war, she sheds tears for Sergei. She fears that she will never see him again, unless he is allowed to stay with the army of soldiers. A soldier speaks to the commander, telling him how much the soldiers have come to love Sergei, and how his presence keeps the soldiers going. He pleads with the commander to allow the boy to stay, but the commander refuses, harshly stating that war is no place for a boy, and that he has already called upon someone to bring Sergei to the orphanage. All around them, the war continues, and gunfire can be heard in the distance. The next morning, a car arrives to collect Sergei. The commander walks with Sergei, sitting him down to have a moment alone together. The commander explains to the boy that he must leave now and gives him a wooden pistol. Sergei is amazed and tells the commander he was waiting for him all night while the war went on, and how glad he was that the commander wasn't killed in the night. Moved by Sergei's words, the commander says that Sergei seems to be the only one who truly cares for him. He immediately has a change of heart and asks the boy to be his son. When Sergei agrees, the commander tears up the orphanage papers. Upon hearing the good news, the soldiers argue over how to make clothes and boots that will fit Sergei out of old uniforms, ecstatic that he is staying. The commander wakes Sergei, telling him that a soldier must dress in 45 seconds in his uniform. With that, he presents Sergei with his new uniform, fit just to his size. He storms out of his tent dressed in uniform, and all the soldiers cheer him on. As he runs around the camp, an airstrike hits, and a battle begins again. As his first exposure to war, he panics, crying for Katya and worrying for his commander. A soldier sees him and tells him to stop crying and believe in their victory. He orders him to help the wounded. Sergei agrees and enters a medical tent filled with many wounded men. He begins to bring each of them water as they lay hurt on their beds. He pretends to read letters to the soldiers, calling out positive messages and filling them with hope. He begins to sing to them and lightens their spirits. After the battle has ended, Sergei lay asleep on Katya's lap. The commander approaches them and tells Katya that there is something he has always wanted to tell her. As he says this, Sergei wakes up and is happy to see his new father alive and well. The commander dismisses his comment to Katya, and he and Sergei walk away together. They stumble upon the destroyed hut of the uniformed tailor, seeing the remnants of the battle and its destruction. Sergei enters the commander's tent, asking his father what his mission for the day is. The commander says he needs him to pick up the mail and deliver it to all of the soldiers. Determined, Sergei runs off to collect the mail, delivering it to each soldier. He goes to play in the forest with his binoculars, looking around in the trees and at the river. He decides to cross the river, drifting further away from the camp and into distant fields. Still looking through his binoculars, he suddenly sees a foot moving in a haystack. Startled, he runs quickly back to the camp. He tells a soldier what he has seen, and they decide to go have a look at what Sergei claims he saw in the haystack. A few soldiers go along on the mission, creeping carefully and quietly through the forest. 2 soldiers ambush the haystack to find 2 German infiltrators hiding inside and successfully capture them. While this is happening, Sergei goes running off into the field where he finds a backpack with an infantry radio. He proudly tells the soldiers they can manage without him and goes to continue his mail delivery. The commander tells Sergei that he is officially his dad and shows him the official documentation. Sergei embraces his father and says they should go tell Katya the good news. He tells his father that Katya cares for him and also for his father. Sergei eagerly takes his father's hand and they rush off to find Katya. Down by the river, Katya is being courted by another soldier. The commander sees another soldier giving her flowers and quickly turns away. During the next battle, Sergei is in the trenches bringing ammo to the soldiers. He is ordered by a fellow soldier to retreat to the commander's dugout. Upon reaching the dugout, he hears a soldier telling the commander the wires for the radio are disconnected and that there is no connection. Realizing they desperately need the radio to work in order to win the battle, he crawls out of the trenches and onto the battlefield. He reaches a soldier laying on the battlefield, dying, with the radio wire in his hand. He retrieves it from him and connects the wires, fixing the connection for the radio, and therefore saving the day. At night, he sits with a soldier who teaches him about the constellations. They talk of families, falling in love, and what it's truly like to be in love. The soldier mentions that it's difficult for one to sleep or drink when they are in love. This sparks something in Sergei. The next day, he runs to Katya and says his father has fallen ill and that she must run to him. They run through the forest from the medical tent to the commander's hut to search for him. Once they reach his hut, Sergei disappears, leaving Katya alone with the commander. She finds him fallen over on his desk and panics, but it turns out he's just sleeping. He says he isn't ill and asks what all this fuss is about. She explains Sergei's distress, saying that his dad was ill and couldn't eat or drink. He apologizes for the trouble, and Katya seems upset and runs out. He runs after her. Sergei sees dogs have arrived at the camp and excitedly runs over to them. He is introduced to the dog's trainer, Kolya, and asks for a sleigh ride pulled by the dogs. He gets on and they zoom off into the forest. As they pick up speed, the dogs suddenly see a cat and chase after it in a frenzy. Kolya sees them headed straight towards a minefield. He jumps on a motorcycle and chases after them, intercepting their path right before they reach the minefield, saving the dogs and Sergei. The commander finally catches up to Katya and confesses his feelings for her. He says the little boy loves her very much and asks her to be his mother. She seems very happy with this question, but before she can respond, a soldier delivers a letter to the commander that says they are to dispatch tomorrow. The soldiers march off at early light to their next destination, the commander and Sergei leading, his wooden pistol in hand. They reach a civilian home, whose tenants kindly offered to feed them. There's a hole in the middle of the kitchen floor, which one tenant states is a German bomb that fell through the roof. They quickly exit the house. As they continue on their journey, riding along the marching soldiers in a car, they hit a landmine and many men die. The commander gets a head wound, but they continue along their journey. The commander and general speak of how the soldiers are worn out. Sergei enters the room and asks if he has a mission for today. The general sends him to report on the state of the soldiers' clothing and equipment. Sergei goes to visit the soldiers, and they offer him tea and chocolate. He refuses and gets down to business, ordering the soldiers to get in line so he can fulfill his mission. He tells a soldier to write down the names of those with torn boots. He brings the report back to the general, telling him supplies needed for the soldiers. Upon asking the little boy if he has any other requests, he asks for the general's permission for Katya and his father to get married. He grants his permission. Sergei and his father walk through the forest, and the boy asks if their division will be awarded a guard's banner soon, asking also what it means. His dad says it's a great honor for those who died and for those who are still in war. Sergei asks if he himself will be rewarded too. His father says yes, of course. All the soldiers have a ceremony for Sergei, and he earns his first badge. A battle begins again, and Sergei and his dad get separated. Sergei searches for his father and finds him trapped underneath a stack of fallen trees. He tries desperately to move the trees and to save his father, but quickly runs off to get help. A group of soldiers run to the fallen trees to help rescue his father. The next morning, he goes to visit his father at the hospital, who is being taken care of by Katya. He walks over to his father's bed to find him in bad shape and cries. His father tells him once again to wipe his tears and that men do not cry. Soon after that, the soldiers march to victory. Sergei was awarded the Medal of the Great Patriotic War for battle valor. He went on to take part in the Stalingrad battle, and together with his regiment reached Poland. The family of the regiment commander became his family. He later graduated from the Suvorov Cadet School in Tula and dedicated his life to struggle against crime.